The Celtics are trading Kemba Walker, the number 16 overall pick in the 2021 draft, and a 2025 second round draft pick to Oklahoma City for Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick, according to Watch. I don't understand. Am I the only one who doesn't understand this trade for the Celtics? Like, in my eyes, the Thunder absolutely fleeced the Celtics here. Um, I guess like Al Horford is pretty old. Like he can still perform, but he's not like a star player. And then we've already seen how Al Horford plays in Boston. Like 2-3 years ago, we know that he's not like that. He didn't fit in Boston's scheme. But again, there's going to be a new coach now because of the whole Brad Stevens becoming president stuff. But still, and then Moses Brown, he's a solid player, but like not for the value that the Celtics traded him for. Uh, yeah, I mean like I genuinely think that it genuinely feels like the Celtics just got absolutely fleeced here. Kemba's still a decent guard, okay? And like the whole thing that the Thunder have been doing have been like, even if even if Sam Presti doesn't want Kemba in the team, like, maybe he sees him for like half a season, then wants to trade him, or keeps him this season, then wants to trade him. We've seen what he's been able to do by flipping Danny Green to the Sixers this season, or the last offseason, or also Kelly Oubre to the Warriors, or even Chris Paul to the Suns, right? He's been able to accumulate so many picks. This is just even more picks, right? It's like Sam Presti he has like first round picks going 7 years into the future and stuff. He can pretty much like dictate any trade he wants at this point. And then as for the actual move, like Kemba going to OKC, I think that's a good trade. Like even if Sam Presti keeps him there, I think that's a good trade because Kemba's still a good point guard. Okay, like yes, he's put up some stinkers, but again, like you're not going to be expected to like perform like top quality night in night out on a rebuilding team like the Thunder are. That combination of Kemba and Shea is going to be so much fun to watch. Like again, Kemba's still a good point guard. He's just not a reliable point guard for a championship contender like the Boston Celtics are, right? So I understand why the Celtics traded him, but I don't understand why they've traded him for this price. I genuinely think the Celtics could have gotten far more than Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick. Second round picks are just not good. Like they're pretty much just used as trade filler in the league. Uh, I mean, I guess you can't really say that now that Jokic got MVP and he was a second round pick. But you know what I'm trying to say. Generally, the second round isn't too good if it isn't too loaded with talent. Um, yeah, I mean, I just don't know what else to say except this trade makes no sense. You're trading Kemba Walker. I understand Kemba needed to leave Boston, right? Like he was not. You could tell like he was pretty much done there after especially like towards the end of the season, but trading him for Al Horford doesn't make sense. Moses Brown is a decent player, but he's not anywhere near like the value that you're trading away with Kemba and the 16th pick. Um, yeah, I literally cannot make head and tails of this trade. I guess like Boston's idea was like I guess cap dump or for Kemba, even though I'm pretty sure Horford still has a pretty big contract. But even looking at it from a cap dump standpoint, it doesn't even make that much sense because Al Horford is only making like, as you can see here, only like actually $8 million less than Kemba, and yeah, I mean, this trade just makes absolutely no sense to me. This could be some like Brad Stevens trying to make some like million IQ play, like trying to make this. I don't see like how in any way actually the Celtics could have won this trade because like Kemba's still a good player, like I said. He's just not. He doesn't fit for the Celtics. So I know, yes, like Kemba's trade value may be low, but you can still get more than Horford, Moses Brown in 2023 second, especially when you're also adding on the 16th overall pick from the draft. Um, yeah, that's about it. I mean, this trade makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm still trying to like figure out why the Celtics actually approved on this trade. Like for the Thunder, this is an amazing trade. Sam Presti's continuing on his stockpiling of draft picks. I think he has like 2-3 picks in the first round this year. I could be wrong on that. I can check. Yeah, they have 3 picks and a pick from the Rockets if it drops to number 5. So they can potentially have 4 picks in the first round alone and then 3 more picks in the second round. Like, this trade is amazing for the Thunder. They're, like I said, they're continuing on their stockpiling of picks. They have a bunch of trade capital now. Like, imagine you can make an insane trade package with the 4th pick, the 5th pick, and the 16th pick, right? Or you can trade your entire first round for like superstars in the league, right? That's an insane amount of trade capital that Presti has now, especially with this Kemba trade. And imagine like or even add Kemba onto a pack. Like, imagine like you can do like a Kemba plus the 4th pick for someone. Oh, this is like all dependent on the lottery for 4th and 5th. But that's like assuming the odds stay like are representative of what the actual draft, how the draft lottery goes. Imagine like even if they don't get the 4th or 5th pick, like imagine you're just trading like 2 lottery picks and Kemba for, you can get any superstar in the league. Like, imagine Presti decides like, oh, he wants Ben Simmons, especially now that his trade value is low now too. So imagine like they do a this is gonna be a bad package, but like, let's say like the fourth pick in the Kemba for Ben Simmons, right? This is just hypothetical. Like, you have all the trade capital in the world. You can trade for literally anyone in the league except for like the true untouchables, like maybe LeBron, I guess Paul George, especially how he's been playing in the playoffs. Players like that you can't trade for, but like yeah, this Celtics pretty much has destroyed their trade capital with this, because like everyone knew that like Kemba's probably going to be the only player who's leaving. I guess Marcus Smart is also on the trade block according to the media. But I mean, you traded like one of your most tradable players, I guess. Like they could have gotten a higher price for it, even though like the trade capital on Kemba was pretty low, because it is pretty obvious that the Celtics want to get rid of him. But I mean, now like this just pretty much like added more depth to, or just bolstered the trade capital, bolstered the either the trade capital or just the picks that they have, like 4 potentially 5th, picking at 4 potentially 5, 16, 18, 35, 36, 55, like having 6 or potentially 7 picks in this draft is insane. Like, I'm not like, this draft is relatively deep. I think you got some really good players like Cade, Jalen Suggs, the Mobley brothers, right? You got all types of players that you can pick for. Like, the Thunder can go any which way they want this offseason. They pretty much are dictating their own legacy, or their own saga, I guess, at this point. Their own fate. They control their own fate. It's very possible that we're going to see some like blockbuster trades made by the Thunder. Like, they're not going to shift into win now mode for sure, but like trade around for a bunch of prospects, trade around for a bunch of young players. Just so like the Thunder will emerge as like a strong contender with like Shea, Dort, and then like a few other young players that they traded for with these picks, or just the rookies that they draft in a few years. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I just thought this trade was like pretty big, and I just thought I'd like get on the mic and record immediately. But yeah, pretty much bottom line is, great trade for the Thunder. They have like all the draft capital in the world now. From what I'm thinking right now, it's a terrible trade for the Celtics, but I mean, something else could emerge. Moses Brown could emerge into a superstar for the team. I'm not sure about Al Horford, because we've seen how Al Horford plays in Boston already. It wasn't that good, in my personal opinion. But I mean, they did need a true center, so it kind of makes sense. But again, I'm just going in circles. But yeah, Thunder won this trade. Celtics definitely lost it. That's about it. I'll see you.